Okay, so now we are in Bambu Studio and we're going to show you how to take the artwork that we created in Inkscape and turn it into a 3D model here in Bambu. So we'll go ahead and hit Control I. That will allow us to import some artwork, and it is called CC Now when we import an SVG, it always comes in 10 millimeters thick. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. And then our next step here is to rename all the parts. So our first part here on the Objects tab, we'll just click here and type in backplate. I just feel like this is a good idea to keep all our parts straight here. And then our CC logo. And then our main text. And then our by tray. Okay, now by tray is going to be white, so we'll hit 2. Main text is going to be white, so we'll hit 2 because 2 is the white filament color. And then our CC logo, and then our back plate is going to be black, so we'll hit 3. Now on the back plate for the thickness, we'll go to our scale tool and we'll choose 8, making sure that uniform scale is not selected. And then for the CC logo portion, it is going to be 1 millimeter thick. Let's go 2 millimeters thick. I'll show you what we're going to do there. And then for our main text, let's go ahead and make it 3. And then for by tray, let's go ahead and make it 3. Okay, so there you go. So now what we have to do is take a look at the Z heights of all of our pieces, and that part is, generally speaking, the most complicated. So we're going to alt click, or we can either alt click over here to select our back plate, or click your back plate right here in the Objects tab. And this is generally what I use. I use the Objects tab more than I do in the design workspace itself. But if I go to my move tool, you will see that its Z height is 4, and that's correct because it is 8 millimeters thick, and half of 8 is 4, and we want it to be printing on the build plate. Now for the CC logo, that's where things get a little interesting, because we have to think about exactly how we want this to be. So CC logo is 2 millimeters thick, okay? Half of 2 is 1. And we want CC logo to be embedded into our black 1 millimeter. We don't want it sitting directly on top of black. We want it embedded into black 1 millimeter. So we take the 1 for half the thickness plus 8, and we want it embedded 1. So this is where it gets confusing. So 1 plus 8 is what? It's 9, right? But we're going to subtract 1, which would be 8. So this would be 8. And if we look closely, you see that line right there? That's a shadow line. That means this red is embedded into our black 1 millimeter deep. And that's exactly what we want. So now we can go to our main text, and we got to kind of repeat the process. But in this case, we got to do something a little bit different. So we're going to go back to the move tool. We know that the previous one was 8, but we actually want this one to be 8.5. So it's still embedded 1, but it's sitting proud. It's sitting proud. See how it's sitting proud of our CC logo. And that's actually what we wanted. And then same thing with by tray. We're going to do the exact same thing. 8.5. Because we want it proud too. Now what we could do is, instead of 8.5, maybe go ahead and make it 8. Embed it a little bit more. Because now you can see it's still raised. But this is high, then this height, then this height. So you could just kind of play with that a little bit. Okay. And just give it a little dimension. I think that could look pretty cool. All right, so we're getting there, right? So now what we have to do is cut the hole where our tab is going to go, right here on the end. Okay, so how do we go about doing that? Or we could do it this way, but because this has kind of got a weird shape to it, I'd rather do it on this end. Okay, So what we're going to do is we're going to right click and add a primitive, and we're going to do a primitive cube. Now our cutter is going to be, let's go ahead and scale it. In the Y here, in the green axis, it's going to be 16, not 20. Okay. And then in the X position, it is going to be 20. We want it 20 mil deep. And then for the Z height, we want it 2. Okay. So we just got a little slot there. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we want to line these up. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take this and shift control our assembly, right click and merge. Okay. And then we can line this one up to this one. So let's just go ahead and do it. And I'm not going to measure and do all that. I'm just going to do it visually. I think that's good enough. So you see how that looks there? I think that's pretty good. So in terms of centered, I think that looks pretty good. If we're off a little bit, it's not going to hurt anything. We could maybe move it just a touch that way. Okay. Now we need this to be in here. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and make this just a little bit longer. Let's make it in the X position here. Let's make it 30. Okay. And then we're going to move this. So we're going to select this and go to our assembly tool and click on that face and this face. So you can see how far that is. So we're just going to zero that out. And now those two faces are perfectly lined up, right? So now we can go to our move tool. So there is our piece right here. We'll go to our move tool. Now this is actually 10 millimeters deeper than we really needed it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to move it out. So you see where the arrow is? It's pointing to the right. Now we're going to have to subtract 10 from this. So it'd be 100.59. And that slides it out exactly 10 millimeters. And we subtract because we want to move it behind the arrow. So we subtract from its current value. If we want to move it in the direction of the arrow, we would have added 2. Whatever it says here, we would add 10 to it. Okay, now we have to move it up. Okay, so we have to take this piece and move it up. So we'll hit the move tool, and it is currently at 1Z, but what if we just make it, let me think here. Well, if we make it 2.5Z, okay? And what that is going to give us then is it's going to give us 1.5 millimeters right there. That's what it's going to give us, 1.5 millimeters there, okay? So let's go ahead and make our slot. So we're going to use our mesh boolean tool, and we're going to do a subtraction. Okay. We don't need the CC logo, and we don't need the main text. We don't need the by Dre. We just need the cube and everything else. Okay. So if I hit execute at this point, you can see we now have our slot. But, and I do want that, but I want to choose keep originals. Okay. So we'll kind of do the same thing. We don't need this, or by Dre. Let's go ahead and execute. Now you say, well, why did we keep the original? Well, because I want to do something a little extra. So what we're going to do is we're going to take just this piece right here, and we're going to rotate it. And we're going to rotate it. It's indiscriminate how much we're rotating it. But what I want to do is I want to actually take this and slide it down just a little bit. So I just rotated it a little bit. Again, there's no like really quote unquote set amount, but I want to get in here. I want to show you this if I can. So this is going to be skinnier, but it's going to have like a ramp. Okay. So let me go ahead and We're going to move this out a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to move it down. So we're going to move this down again. Let me get in here and look. I'm going to move it down just a little bit more. And again, this is just being extra. Totally unnecessary. But let's go ahead and then we'll go ahead and slice this again. I want that ramp cut in there. So we'll go to our mesh boolean tool. We'll push everything over. You see, except we kept our cube. This time we don't need to keep the original models. I'm going to choose execute. So you see here, we've got a nice little thin ramp that we can push underneath our tab and then pop it open a little bit easier. Okay. So that is what we have. Now, and when we go to slice this, it's probably going to tell us that we do not need supports, hopefully. It's actually saying that we do need supports. So let's go ahead and add supports. Now, we're not really going to add supports for this model because I don't think we need them, but we do need to make a couple of changes. So let's go back over here and let's just add supports and then talk about why we don't want to add supports. So let's go ahead and reslice the plate. Okay, and so what it's saying is we need supports for our slot that we just made. Okay, but again, we don't really want that. So what if we choose support critical regions only, and then we'll slice the plate. And I don't know if we're going to be able to see this very clearly, but even with critical regions only, there's supports inside our slot, and those are impossible to get out. Okay, so even with that, that doesn't going to work very well. What we can do that can help us here is notice that we do, so we want supports, but notice on the build plate only. Okay, and when we do that, then it will only create supports on the build plate. And let's see if we can see what we could see inside of here. Sometimes it's difficult. But essentially what it's going to do is it's only going to create supports on the build plate. So inside there, we're not going to have supports. Okay. So that's something that we have to think about too. So what we can do here on our support tab, let's come down here under advanced, the top Z distance, let's change that to 8. And then our top interface layers, let's just go ahead and change that to 4. And then what we have to do is come over to the quality tab and slow the bridges, London bridges. So let's come find our bridges here because that is the only thing that is going to be a problem. Let's see if we can find our bridges. You can see there's thick bridges. Bridge flow 1. So that must be a global setting. Well, we are on global. So maybe it is under, yes, under, is it under our strength tab? Let's see here. Bridge direction, no. Speed. That's what we need. Our bridge speed. That's what we were after. Right there. So slow that down. Slow our bridges. We'll just put it down to 20, which is less than half of what its normal speed is. And so when it's creating that top bridge, it'll go really slow. And that should help us not need supports. We slow our bridge down there. Okay. So we are ready to print And that should get the job done. You can see it's going to take us an hour to print it. But that should work out real well for us. Okay, so if it looks good here in the slicer, it's going to look good when we go to print it. So hopefully that helps you out. So until next time, thanks for watching.